Hi, and welcome back to the Roswell Music Festival. I'm Tran Bowie. Thank you so much for watching. This is our first time going virtual, and so we do really appreciate your support. So, how many of you out there have seen NBC's The Voice? I was a huge fan, addicted to it, watched just about every season. Well, last summer, Atlanta's own Caroline Reilly was on season 17. She earned a spot on Gwen Stefani's team, and she sang the song Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane, just wowed the crowd. And I am joining Caroline now in her home. Hi.
Hey.
Well, good to see you. So I have to tell everyone, I actually found Caroline so mesmerizing when I saw her at Shanghai Chinese Food and Bar in Roswell on Magnolia. And she was outside on the patio. And Caroline, you just have such this soulful voice and such range, not just with, I think, your music, but your voice. And then there's this maturity too. So it's so hard for me to believe that you're 17 and you
Thank
sing
you so much.
with such passion. No, I loved it because I actually came with my husband and some friends, and we were just like, every time you would sing a new song, we're like, oh my gosh, love that song, oh my gosh. And every one of us like different types of music, and you were able to cover it all. And you even did like ended it with a hip hop song, which which was so great for me. So where did you find this passion for such an eclectic mix of music?
Well, I mean, growing up, my dad, he loved classic rock music. And so I was always listening to it in the car, right? So as I got older and started listening to more and more music, because as we get older, we do that, I just started finding that my taste was leaning more toward the classic rock music. Just because it's what I grew up on, and that sound just was a really cool sound that I personally really loved. So I just kind of got to listen to that a lot, and that's something I really enjoyed and started playing a lot when I became a musician. So yeah.
When did you start? How old?
I just in general, any music.
Yeah. Oh, no. How old were you when you started?
Okay, I was around, oh my gosh, 10 or 11 when I started. I actually started in musical theater. But I was around 13 when I started performing in bands like classic rock music.
So, I think kids, they go around and they sing and they dance, and we might make them take some, lessons or put them in band. Um, when do you think you found that you actually had a gift? Like, well, this is not just something that I'm doing because my parents want me to, or it's fun. When did you realize you had this talent?
Well, I mean, I've always loved to sing ever since I was little, but like to sit and really understand and say this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, like this is what I want. I think I realized that completely and truly when I was about 14 years old, because that was a year after I started playing in bands, and I really just it sunk in, that this is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'd say about 14, 15 years old was when I figured that out.
So why go on The Voice? Every time I watch The Voice, I don't know. Every time I watch The Voice, I actually want to start crying because everyone has such a powerful story, and you just see people going after their dreams. But it's got to be scary. Like, not only are you walking out there on stage in front of millions of people, so it's on, TV, but you have these amazing superstars, trying to pretty much like deciding your fate, what's going to happen next. Like, what made you take that leap of faith?
Well, to be honest with you, I never had any intentions of trying out for a reality TV show. That was just not something I was doing because I was trying to focus on getting shows here in Atlanta and just working on my personal music. But one day I just saw that there were some auditions, and I was just like, I just knew in my heart. I was like, I feel like this is the next step. I don't know really what it was. It was just a feeling. And I was like, I feel like this is the next step. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try out and see what happens, because there's no harm in trying out.
Right.
So I tried out and I got through to the next part, and I was just shocked. I was like, wow, I feel like this is just becoming so much fun, and I'm getting to express myself in a completely different way, and I'm learning. Every moment I was learning, and I was like, I just think this is right. So I just felt like it was just a big leap of faith for me. I just felt like it was something that I wanted to do, that I should have done.
Well, and you did a great job. And so talk us through that process. Like, how was it when Gwen picked you to be on her team and you went through all of that? Um, because I'm always fascinated on what the actual process is and the emotions that you have to be going through. Like, you want to perform well, but it's got to be nerve-wracking as well.
Oh yes, I it was very nerve-wracking. So we were out there for a while filming. So I mean, a lot of people that were accepted to do blind auditions, they weren't guaranteed an audition because there's a lot of people that are in the process, and once the teams are full, they're full. So I remember that they were just kind of sectioning off. They're like, okay, so people are going to go on this day and this day and this time. And I was just so nervous all the time because we'd been out there for a while just practicing this one song. It's just, I'm used to practicing sets of songs, but you're just there to practice this one song. And I'm just like, I can't blow it, right? So it was just very nerve wracking when it came to the end and they were calling people to go to the stage. And finally, they called my name, and I was one of the very last people because I was the last spot. And I remember my heart was pounding so, so hard. Like, I was so nervous
Oh my gosh.
because there's so many people out there, right? And they have the audience out there, and they call your name. You go up, and this thunderous applause because everybody has to applaud. It's so loud, and you go, and the band's behind you. You got the whole band sitting there looking at you, and it's 10 times louder on stage because yeah. So I was waiting there for them to start, and they start the music, and I jumped. Like, they didn't show this on, they didn't show this part on TV, but I jumped like this because it was so loud, and I
Right.
was so nervous. And I started the song, and about halfway through the song, I realized nobody was turning their chairs. Keep in mind, I had absolutely no idea there was only one spot left.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, they did not tell me that. So I went on stage, and I was just like, oh my gosh, nobody's turning. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I kept my cool though. And I'm just like, I'm just going to go all out now. I don't even care. I
yeah.
just went all out, and about almost to the end, I saw Gwen, like, her ponytail whip around, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And they told you not to look backstage to look at your parents. They just told you not to do that. But I kind of shifted myself and looked, and my parents were like jumping up and down. And my heart was so full, and I was just so excited. And getting to meet Gwen and talk to her afterward was amazing. She was very kind and very sweet. So it was just a very, very exciting experience I'll never forget.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can have stage fright after that. You've just like experienced something so big. So I want to talk to you about the types of songs and the genre that you like. What do you gravitate towards to? Because I found that day that you were playing a little bit of everything, but in your style.
All right, I love pop music. I think it's amazing, and I love especially when pop artists or artists that are seen as pop artists when they cover rock songs. And that was kind of something I really wanted to do. I was like, I can have these pop flavors and add them to this classic rock genre that I love to sing. And I feel like, especially the older audience, they just love to hear that. I feel like they love to hear the songs that they heard when they were younger done in a more modern way, especially with new generations coming up and doing those. So that was definitely something I wanted to do as a musician, was kind of bring pop flavors into rock music.
See, and that's what I loved about your performance was because those are the songs that I gravitate towards. And so on your playlist, who do you have?
I have a lot of Demi Lovato. I
She
love
has an amazing voice. Yeah.
She has a beautiful voice. It is just so powerful and strong. And so Demi Lovato, I love her voice. I love her music. I have that on my playlist, of course. And I have Heart on my playlist. I love Heart. Fantastic vocalists.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I have a lot of Elton John because his
Mhm.
writing is phenomenal. Love his writing. I have Queen, of course, very theatrical music. I love all sorts of stuff. I have some hints of Broadway, jazz. I have all
Wow.
sorts. Yeah, I want to be as diverse as possible so I can add all sorts of different things into music. But mainly try to keep mainstream. I try to keep some of that because that's what's going on right now. Because as much as we want to focus on the classic rock stuff that's in the past, you also have to live now sometimes too, and kind of incorporate everything. So yeah, I just have a lot of a variety, but it's mostly classic rock and pop music as of right now.
See, I told you she's so mature. And okay, so I know that during the quarantine, a lot of musicians were not able to perform live and in person, but I know you've been doing some live streaming and still promoting your music, and you are getting out there, like you were on the patio at Shanghai. So where can people find you? Are you back out now?
Yes, every now and then we try to keep. I'm in a duo right now, and we try to keep our shows outdoors if we can, and we play very. We try to just keep our gigs here and there, just so that we're not constantly out. But we are back out, and we do promote our shows on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And as for my personal music, I do like to promote my original music. I'm actually currently writing a song, and I finished writing a song earlier, and I'm actually in the studio finishing that up. So that'll be out very soon. But yeah, I'm constantly posting covers on social media, and so that's kind of where it is right now. And it's so much fun getting to see how we can all collaborate even online. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been going right now.
Oh, great. No, you're doing a great job on your Instagram. I see you well, on Instagram and Facebook, but I love
Thank
how you're doing it. It does feel like an intimate concert. Okay, so your future goal. What would you like to do next?
Right now, I'm focusing on getting into a few different music colleges. My dream school is Berklee College of Music in Boston. I love that school. I've been to a few of their summer programs, and they've been phenomenal. And they've been so kind and diverse, and just everything you would want in a community of music they've had there. And so that is my dream school right now, and I want to major in music performance and really focus on that. And one of my biggest dreams is being in a band and getting to tour with them, of course, and also developing my songwriting so that I can make some amazing songs with a group of people and just kind of collaborate.
Well, I think you're well on your way. And so, with that said, I want to wrap up and end with a message that I feel like you're still a young musician. For me to ask you to give a message to other people who are starting out, other young musicians, the kids who are, just singing and dancing around the house and playing musical instruments because it's fun and they realize it's their passion. What advice would you give to them?
For musicians starting out, I would just say work hard. That was the first thing, is that sometimes, if it didn't seem right, sometimes if like things weren't working out at first, I can't get the chords right, I can't get the song right, you'd be like, I just want to give up. But you have to keep going, and you just have to work hard. And that's definitely something that I would tell them. And something else is find the passion even later on, because I mean, everything's gonna rust a little bit, and even after a while you're gonna be like, I don't feel exactly the same as I did when I started. But you have to remember that passion you had at the beginning. When you heard that first song and you're like, I want to learn how to play that, I want to learn how to sing that. Remember that passion, remember that feeling you had in that moment, and just keep going, and just have fun with it too. Just make everything your own and be an artist.
I love it. I love it. And as you said that message, I feel like you're telling it to all of us. I think no matter what we're doing in life, it is about finding your passion, remembering why you loved it. And so you're such an inspiration to me. I just love what you said, and I just wish you all the best of luck. So stay with the Roswell Music Fest because Caroline is going to be performing tonight, and I'm super excited because you'll get to hear her magic and experience it for yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.